This review has been made possible by Chevrolet of Naperville. As you know, Chevy has tons of brand new cars and trucks available for purchase, but did you know that they also have a remarkable selection of used cars? Head on over to ChevroletofNaperville.com and look through hundreds of used cars for sale right now. Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach and today I'm driving a 2017 Cadillac CTS-Vsport Premium Rear Wheel Drive. Up front is a 3.6 liter turbocharged V6 and down below is an 8-speed automatic transmission. This video is sponsored by CarMarshal.com. If you'd like to support the channel, click the link down in the description below. CarMarshal.com advertises for over 100,000 vehicles across the US. But let's get back to that 3.6 liter turbo. Well, it's actually a twin turbo. Theoretically, it's the same engine that GM has been putting in everything. Their 3.6 liter V6. They put it in the brand new Blazer, they put it in the Traverse, they put it in the Camaro base, blah, blah, blah. But this gets the treatment, this gets the works. Think about the normal 3.6 liter as just a sub sandwich, but this is Mike's way. If you've ever been to Jersey Mike's, you get the sandwich and then you go, hey, make it Mike's way. And they add a little stuff on top. That's what this engine is. And so let's not talk anymore. Let's get it out onto the test track. Let's get it warmed up and let's see what the 3.6 does. All right, guys, so we are in the CTS-Vsport. It should be noted that this is not the full CTS-V. The CTS-Vsport, the V-Sport's like a package. Think of it more of like an M-Sport package where that's not necessarily an M3, but you can get a 3 Series with an M-Sport package. It's the same kind of deal, but it is still a turbo V6, so we're gonna put it into track mode. The gauge actually turns white, and I'm just gonna let the car kind of do its thing. Roll down the window, nice and smooth window, but oh, wow. Okay, not the fire-breathing, CTS-V V8, but man, is this thing not slow. Sort of roll into it. Oh man, it revs to about 6,500 RPM, which out of a V6 turbo, not bad at all. Like I said, this isn't going to, be the fastest thing on planet Earth, but this is a quick car. And honestly, essentially look at it as a budget CTS-V. You're still getting a turbo V6. You're still gonna have so much fun. This is just a great car. I just wish that they adjusted the exhaust note a little bit, but other than that, this is fun. Like I said, paired to it is an automatic transmission. Of course, a car like this, I wish that it was manual. I really wish. But that being said, this one isn't, and so I can't knock it too hard. I do have paddle shifters. I do have manual mode, but other than that. Last but not least, it is the rear-wheel drive version. They do make an all-wheel drive, but this is the rear wheel, so... So let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me I have I have a bunch of digital gauges. There's no actual physical gauges. Although there is physical plastic for the outline of the gauges, there's no actual gauge. Top left I have my oil temperature, and then center I have the boost pressure, which is an actual boost gauge because it is telling me vacuum as well as boost pressure. So it is positive and negative, which real boost gauges are, and that is really cool. In the center, I have a center-mounted tachometer with the V logo. That is really cool, really special. And then on the right, I just have my coolant temperature and my fuel. I love this gauge setup. I think it's super cool, and it's very unique to the CTS-Vsport. On the steering wheel, I have my typical Cadillac controls. So on the right is my volume and select knobs. On the left is my voice command, collision, heated steering wheel, and cruise control. And then I do have paddle shifters on the back of the steering wheel, which I really like. And the steering wheel is wrapped in this really nice suede, something you don't get in other Cadillacs. That's what I'm really getting at here, is that this interior actually does feel different from other Cadillacs, from normal Cadillacs. And I really like that. But we'll talk about that more towards the end. To the left, I do have my heads-up display options. So I do have a heads-up display right now. Is displaying just the tachometer as well as my speed. It's very, very reminiscent of the Corvettes, and I really, really like that. I think it definitely makes me feel super special and performance-y, just seeing a tachometer. But I can switch it to just my speed and speed limit, my media, compass, and then we're back to that more racing style one, which, that is just the coolest. On the door, I do have my memory seat settings, lock and unlock, and then down below, I have my window switches, stuff like that. Nice thing about the memory seat options is that there is a button for get out. So when you hit that button, the seat moves all the way back, so it is easier to get in and out of the car. I really like that. Cadillac does a great job with that. Then in the center, we do have 2 air conditioning vents and our media center. This is a very typical Chevy, GM parts bin sort of media center. It looks like all the other ones. I do have projection for my phone. I can click camera, but it's not available above a certain speed. It just yelled at me, which I'm only doing 20, so. I have my radio options. I do have Wi-Fi. If I pay for it, you can actually have a Wi-Fi hotspot in your car. A whole bunch of stuff there around the radio. Then I do have my volume adjustment, climate controls. I do have heated and cooled seats, which is really, really nice. I can't actually turn them on together. And of course, as you guys know, the climate controls actually come up to reveal a hidden area with a USB port, and you just do that by hitting the bottom of the climate controls. I really, really like that as well. Then we come to the shifter. Nothing crazy here. I do like the fact that you can't actually see the PRND logos until the car is turned on. So when the car is off, it looks just like a blank sheet. Then I do have traction control on and off and my mode button. For modes, I do have Tour, Sport, Track, and then Snow and Ice. So of course we'll leave it in Tour just for the review because, I don't need it in anything else. The seats are nice and comfortable. They do have the little wings stitched into them, the Cadillac wings, which I really, really like. I think that really adds to it. But they are nice and comfortable. Like I said, heated, cooled, memory, power, anything you really want. But this is the CTS, so it is the big old 4-door, so we will do a back seat review. All right, so I'm in the back of the 2017 Cadillac CTS-Vsport Premium rear-wheel drive. And I do have little sunshades I can put up, which is pretty nice. I do have my own climate controls, obviously power windows. The fake carbon fiber carries on to the back here. Have a little ashtray as well as a 12-volt outlet. Center console has a little cubby hole. It's actually decently sized. And then, of course, fold-out cup holders. The wings carry on to the back seats. They're perforated leather. It's a really nice back seat. I do like the moonroof. You get to kind of enjoy that back here. But other than that, it's not anything too special. I did have to move up my seat just a little bit to give me a little bit more legroom, but I think that's because the seat has that get out option. And so the car is off right now, and the seat went fully back into its get out position. So I can't really knock it too hard because that's just allowing the driver to get out. Although I think that would maybe crush the back seat rider. Now that I think about it, if they turn off the car and the back seat person is still there, it might try to crush them. But overall, not that bad of a back seat. Then we gotta talk about the looks. I really like the color. Now, this is where it becomes apparent that this is not the full CTS-V. The CTS-V is the fire-breathing V8 version. This is not it, and it's very clear by the body of it. It's more of a reserved sort of car. It's a little bit more sleeper than the CTS-V. It's a little bit more hidden, a little bit, not as showboaty, although it doesn't have that V8 to back up the showboatiness. So I guess it makes sense why it's a little bit more reserved. But it's a Cadillac. I really do like the look of it. So let's actually get back to the interior because this has always been my biggest gripe with Cadillacs. And even the 2019 CTS that I drove, I said that it looked super dated. And I actually got a couple comments saying, oh, well, he's not, aware of Cadillac. They're switching it up in 2020. If a car feels dated, it should have been improved 2 years ago. And so that was my big gripe with the 2019 CTS, is that it felt old. Why would I want to buy something that felt old? But this doesn't feel old. It has those digital gauges with that V logo, that switch, and it has sport and track mode. It has the suede steering wheel, and it has this fake carbon fiber everywhere, but I don't mind it. I don't hate it. It has that sweet heads-up display. This is 2 years older than the 2019 CTS that I drove, and this feels newer. This feels more exciting. This feels more exhilarating. This feels better than that. And honestly, if I were going to spend my money on one of these two cars, the CTS or the CTS-Vsport, I would buy the V-Sport because it just feels like a better car. It feels more modern. It feels like GM actually really tried with this one. And that is what I really like about the CTS-Vsport. I know this is not a CTS-V. It's confusing, but this is not the CTS-V. This isn't the fire-breathing, V8 screaming CTS-V. It is the little brother. It's the art student cousin. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't have a place at the dinner table, because it certainly does. This car would be welcomed at my home any day of the week. I really, really like this thing. And I think part of the reason I like it so much is because it is such an improvement over the stock CTS. If you are any form of performance or vehicular fan and you're looking at getting a CTS, bump it up a little. Get the CTS-Vsport. You will thank me later. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys learned something about the 2017 Cadillac CTS-Vsport Premium Rear-Wheel Drive. Huge thank you to Chevy of Naperville for letting me take out their used V-Sport. They have this on the lot right now, as well as a bunch of other fun cars, a bunch of Camaros, and even non-GM products. You know, I'm about to drive a Land Rover, and I drove a Tesla last week from them. They got a bunch of fun stuff. So definitely go check them out. The link is on the screen as well as in the description below. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really like to. Take care, guys. Aside from my soul.